Hi everyone! In this video, we will find out if the first generation iPhone SE is still worth buying in 2021. Hi everyone, my name is JC and I am a content creator from the Philippines. If you will find this video helpful, please consider subscribing by clicking subscribe and bell icon so you won't miss anything of my future uploads. And without further ado, let's back to the video. iPhone SE was part of the 9th generation of the iPhone, alongside with its higher-end models iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. It was launched in March of 2016 with the price starting at $399 with 16GB of storage and maxes out at $499 with 64GB. Today, you can find these iPhones refurbished or brand new at eBay or other online markets ranging from $30 until $200 depending on the condition and storage. It had 4 color options: gold, rose gold, silver, and space gray. Similar to its brothers, iPhone 5 and 5s, the SE shares the similar design with these two phones, with metal body, chamfered flat edges, and a 4-inch display. With 4-inch display, the screen size is quite small for today's standards, but still usable for multimedia apps like YouTube and Netflix. Also, the headphone jack is still present here, so if you're still using wired or earphones, it is still usable as of today. The iPhone SE features the same internals as the iPhone 6s. It featured the A9 CPU with 2GB of RAM, which at the time it was launched are plenty enough to handle tasks. After 5 years since it was launched, it starts to show its age. However, unlike their predecessor iPhone 6 and 5s that struggles with a gigabyte of RAM, the SE still handles the apps of today at ease with some occasional loading times that we may encounter. Games such as Call of Duty, Genshin Impact, and other games can still run decently on this phone. The iPhone SE has a different Touch ID sensor compared to 6s. iPhone 6s uses 2nd generation Touch ID, which is way faster than the 1st generation that the SE has. The SE is equipped with the same main camera as the iPhone 6s, a 12-megapixel iSight camera with dual-tone flash, capable of recording 4K videos at 30 frames per second. It can also shoot slow-mo videos at a maximum of 120 frames per second in Full HD and 240 frames per second in HD. Its front camera is 1.2 megapixel, which is quite mediocre for today's standards. Here are some sample photos taken with the SE. As you can see, its main camera still shoots acceptable photos with decent color reproduction and texture. Photos taken with this phone can be confidently used in social media apps, especially if you're only taking mostly daytime photos. Nighttime photos, on the other hand, are not as good, but you can compensate for that by using flash for the quality of the image. The front camera is still usable for video calls, but it is not on par with today's standards. Today, the SE still supports the current iOS version, iOS 14, which makes it have the new features of iPhone such as widgets, privacy features, picture-in-picture mode, and a lot more. However, with the forthcoming iOS 15, it is believed that Apple will drop the support with A9 devices, particularly SE and 6s models. Even though the phone may not or may still receive software updates in the future, the current iOS 14 version gives 2 to 3 years of app support in the App Store, so most of the apps will still support this phone even 2 to 3 years since Apple drops its support. Expect that you will charge this phone 5 to 6 times a day if you're a heavy user, and 3 to 4 times a day if you're a moderate one. The phone has a great standby time, but it drains fast and feels warm when playing graphic-intensive games, so take consideration if you're planning to get one. So in conclusion, if you're only on a budget and you just want to try the Apple ecosystem without spending a lot of money, definitely you should get this iPhone. However, you should take consideration of the cons of this phone, such as the heating problems, especially if you're playing intensive graphic games, and also the battery life of this phone. It is not acceptable with today's standards. However, if you're planning to purchase a refurbished phone with a degraded battery life, you should purchase a third-party battery pack in order to change that. Second, if you'll only purchase this phone as a secondary phone, definitely purchase it. Or if you're a parent or you just want to give your child a phone to use, definitely you should purchase it for your child because it will be useful. Thirdly, if your phone upgrade usually takes 2 to 3 years, I think you should skip this unit and go to 6S or 6S Plus since it has a better screen and a better battery life. However, if you have more budget, please consider purchasing an iPhone 7 and an iPhone 8 since it will give you a longer software support and a better specs, especially if you're going to keep your phone for a long time. And that's all. If this video helped you, please consider subscribing, and thank you and God bless. See you in my next video.